really sums up a request, the feeling I'm having right now is, where are your books? Where are the books? I'm pausing because you never know if it's actually live on Facebook Live. Right. So the question I was asking, I'm going to ask again, is where are the books? Okay. Where are your books? Because I'm getting calls from publishers. I'm getting requests for books. Um, and all of you in this network, in this group, are writing your book. But there comes a time in which the writing is over. You've written the book. And I want to just talk about what that means. And then what are the books publishers are looking for? And what does it mean to be done? What does it mean to be done and get over the finish line? So the first the first process is a first draft. That is not the end of the process. What we need from you as publishers, as agents, is we need a completed package. I want you to have finished what is your absolutely best version of the book. And when you have your best version of the book, I expect that to be paired with a pitch deck. So the pitch deck is the book synopsis or your book proposal, your chapter list, and attached to that is some whacking good chapters of your book. So that is what you need to be working towards as a writer who wants to get published. First draft, second draft, whatever it is, get to the place where you've got it as the best possible version. And then you have to get it ready for the next step. And the next step is to hand it over to somebody else. Now, that somebody else could be a publisher. That somebody else could be an agent. That somebody else could be an editor, because you may want to just walk that path yourself. But what I'm consistently finding with writers is there is an addiction to being stuck in the process of writing. So I don't know how many of you listening to this video, I hope you can see me because my screen is completely black anyway, are writing your book. Some of you came on a retreat with me 5 years ago and you are still writing your books. So I want to push you to move into the next phase. So I'm getting calls from publishers wanting books. What are they wanting most of the time at the moment? They're wanting commercial fiction, okay? What is commercial fiction? And this is a really good and interesting question, because we write a book, so I'm talking now directly to the novelists. We write a book just wanting to write a book. But when we start to get in this phase where we want to get a publisher, this word commercial comes up. A commercial book, very simply put, is a book that sells. All right. And we know books that sell because there's a history of how they've sold. So with nonfiction, we can predict your sales, bearing in mind your network, your topic, your tribe that you can sell into, the way we understand we can market your book. In novels, we also have a very clear idea of books that sell. And I'm going back to the word we began all of our novels with, and that is genre. We know the genres that sell. And publishers are looking for them. They're looking for romance. They're looking for new adults. They're looking for crime always. We are looking for middle grade fiction. And one of our authors on this group, and I'm going to interview her, has just got a phenomenal publishing deal with her middle grade fiction novel. And I'm going to drop the link of Nikki's book in the group. But nobody's going to buy your book. Nobody's going to read it unless you really get to that finishing line. And I want to tell you, I'm a little bit tired. I'm tired because I get calls, Sarah, you've got all these writers, you've got this wonderful network. Where are the books? So that's the question I'm putting in your lap. So I'm an agent. What you need to give me is the ammunition. I'm not going to create your book for you. I'm going to sell your book if I take you on as an agent. But that speaks for anybody going out there. So you have got to be in the place where you craft the best possible ammunition. And I want to tell you where many of you are stuck, because I know many of you, all of you in this group. So some of you are writing your first draft, and we're going to leave you at that because that really is the place you're going towards. Some of you have done 2 or 3 drafts, and then you've got beta readers come in. And then you've got your pitch deck together, and maybe, and so that's level 2, which you actually add. So you think your book is good enough. Then what has potentially happened is some of you have got a professional manuscript appraisal. And you've got some comments back, and the comments can be big ones, like totally change this, rewrite that, this isn't working, your dialogue's not working. And then you're stuck there. And I know a number of you have said that. And then what you start to ask yourself is, Do I have the appetite to make this book better? Can I do this again? And I want to encourage you to do it again, because very seldom do you get to a really good draft of a book until you get that hard feedback and you work with it. And nonfiction, okay, but this is for novels that really, very few people write a incredibly tight first draft of a novel, second, third draft of a novel. So when you start to get professional feedback, I'm not talking about friends, I'm talking about publishers, editors, who start coming to you and saying, we actually quite like it. We can see you can write, but, and there's always going to be those words, but. Can you rewrite this? Can you cut out that? We don't like this genre. Can you shift it and include a mystery or whatever they may ask you? So that's the place that I really want to encourage you all to dig deep, okay, and to do it and to get one more version of your book out there. And so I'm really pushing you to just keep moving, keep improving your craft. And the only way you improve your craft as an author is to get the feedback from publishers. Later down the line, if you do have a publishing deal, you're going to find the reviews are going to tell you everything that's wrong with your book. You're not going to rewrite that book. You're going to use that with your next one. So all of you who may be stalled somewhere on the line, please remember, you went into this with an intention. It's to tell your story. That's your story, your goal. But your second level intention could have been to have other people read it. So please keep walking, even if it's been sitting on your shelf for a year or 2 years, and some of you, I know here, it's been like 3 years, dust it off. See if you have the appetite to recommit and to get that book somewhere. And I just want to remind all of you that self-publishing is accessible, and it is a valid way to get your story out into the world. How does it matter how many people read it? If there is somebody who reads your story and their life has changed or impacted, maybe that's enough. Maybe it's enough for 10 people. Maybe it's only enough for you if 10,000 people. I don't know. But I want you to really go back to that question of why did you have this dream, and to dust the dream off and to do the practical steps to get the ammunition out there so somebody will buy your book, okay? So that's what we really need. I want you all to end up with a really finished, polished product, a pitch deck, and ready to send out. So it's like having a brilliant CV. Hi, Jacques. It's like having a genius CV. You want it ready to go, because the second somebody says, send me your CV, you send it. So I want you to have that. I've got a lot of demand for books. Publishers are looking for books. Where are your books?